Hey everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to my channel. My name is Kimberly Ponce. Today we're going to be discussing how to handle spiritual warfare. It's a bit of a topic. I'm going to try and keep it at a reasonable time length, but it's important to share. I feel like it's important to share my personal experience of overcoming different seasons of warfare. And then I have, as always, a couple of Bible verses to back it up. But last night was crazy. Um, I'll start with, I guess, the fact that I had to bless my apartment last night after some months of enduring what I didn't know. I wasn't admitting it to myself, but there's paranormal happenings occurring, and I just was ignoring it. But it became real to a point where I was like, I gotta handle this. And so I just wanted to share how I overcame my experience, and then Bible verses on how you can stay in the Word and understand how God plans for us to overcome these challenges. But the one that really stuck out to me that I love was Luke 10:19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and all over the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. So I didn't think that I had the authority to trample these scorpions and snakes. So that's why when I kept experiencing, honestly, poltergeist activity and weird stuff, I was just ignoring it because I didn't want to believe that it was really happening. So actually, I have something I wanted to show you, but I was wearing this headband the other night, and I blocked it out after it happened, but literally I was getting ready to, I'll show you what happens, but yeah, I was like, I'm gonna keep this one on, but I like my headbands, because it keeps everything together and whatnot, and it was like this on my head, and I have had some paranormal stuff happen right next to these closets before. And I opened up the closet, and I was getting ready to, I think, take out the trash, something super mundane. And I felt literally my headband being pulled. It didn't come off all the way, but I was putting on my big Carhartt pink jacket. I love that jacket. And getting ready to go outside and stuff, and then it was just chilling like this, and then I felt it tug off my head, but it didn't come off all the way. It was just a little pull, and it was very tangible, very real. And I felt immediately goosebumps in the back of my neck after it happened, but I just ignored it and blocked it out because I was like, nah, that didn't just happen. And yeah, I was it gave me those goosebumps and that bad feeling of heebie-jeebies or whatever. And I blocked it out, and then I and then last night I was, I've been dealing with insomnia and stuff like that, waking up randomly at 3. And I had a YouTube live the other day with John G and Dave F, and we were talking about it, and so they know, or sharing with them a little bit about what was going on, and they're like, yeah, no wonder you want to get out of that apartment, and ooh, that's really creepy. It's some of the things I was telling them and stuff about what I experienced. But I noticed I was full of rage, and it was unexpected and kind of unexplained yesterday. And there was this, all of a sudden, I was about to cook dinner. I was heating up dinner, and I put a picture of it on my post, but it's shrimp linguine. It was creme de creme, and creme de la creme. And anyway, all of a sudden, this foul smell, sulfur or rotting meat, just overwhelmed the kitchen, and I felt like throwing up, and then I lost my appetite. And then I all of a sudden got really exhausted, and I like just was like, okay, I guess I need to go to bed. I barely was able to eat like a couple of bites, even though it was like yummy. I just, the smell in the kitchen all of a sudden made me sick to my stomach, and it made me lose my appetite. So then I was like, I'll just go to bed. And I was kind of having a hard day emotionally, just because life, or whatever. It's all good. It was just one of those days where I was feeling the tears and whatnot and feeling the emotions. And so it wasn't that hard to get me upset yesterday. And I feel like that's why I was kind of targeted. But I've been experiencing weird things like all year long, like ever since I moved in here, like November 2nd, 2022. And I think it's very powerful to share my experience of how real warfare is. And then I was starting to fall asleep, and I was dozing off, and I was listening to like my Christian, like God's messages for you on YouTube and stuff, and just like kind of like passing out. And sometimes when you get unexplainably like exhausted out of nowhere, it can be like warfare or some type of black magic or witchcraft that somebody's doing against you to like exhaust you, because you're fighting in the spirit realm, and that's what's exhausting your physical body. And so yeah, I like kind of like passed out for a little bit, and not even very long, like 30, no, like 15 minutes, and then I was kind of like woken up again, and then restless, and then like that rage feeling again, and then I had to open up the window and burn some incense, because like, where the heck is this disgusting smell coming from? And I felt on edge. I felt it just, it was there. Yeah, I didn't realize. So I was kind of roaming around and between the living room and then going into the kitchen, and right as and I left the bathroom light on yesterday, and I was walking into the kitchen last night, and it was like what, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and I heard the audible click of the bathroom light turn off, but I didn't turn it off. It just turned off literally by itself. And then I saw the light turn off. So as I was walking into the kitchen, I heard the light switch. I heard the click, and I heard it. And then I recognized that the bathroom light also just went off by itself. And I was like, that's it. This is it. I need to handle this. So I Googled last night how to tell if there's evil spirits in your dwelling. And it said bad smells and insomnia and unexplained rage. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been dealing with. So I took out the olive oil and a napkin, and I started blessing the house, and I looked up prayers to bless the house. And I went on this like, I think an hour-long prayer, and just like blessing every like corner. And I went into the closets, and I said, in Jesus' name, and the authority that I have as a child of God, I command you to leave immediately. You are not welcome here. And I literally never thought that like I would ever like legitimately have to do this, because I've seen it in like the paranormal shows and whatever. And it was real. It was real, because I went into the closet, and I had goosebumps. I could see the goosebumps on my legs, and I felt the hairs in the back of your neck standing up, and I was like smudging. Or I don't know if to call it smudging, because I think that's sage, but I had like the oil, the paper towel, and just like saying, in Jesus' name, command you to leave. This is my home. You are not welcome here. And I like did the whole thing, and I for like an hour and stuff, and then it turned into like just regular prayer after I felt the energy like lift up. And then also Google said to open up your windows, and like lemon and salt sometimes too can like help with getting rid of the spirits. And then I remembered that I had I think it's, what is it, copal, my copal. It's a incense from Mexico, and it's used. When I bought it, the man was speaking Spanish, and selling the item to me, and I wasn't able to capture everything he said, but he said something along the lines, and I just heard him say malas espirituas, and I was like, oh, like it gets rid of negative spirits. And I was like, oh yeah. And so I found that, and then I was burning that. And then I also read too that entities of demonic entities and evil beings actually are more easily to attach to a home if it's if there's clutter or if it's not cleaned regularly. So I went ham. Like I got rid of all the clutter, like the receipts that were on the kitchen counter and stuff like that. And then I like mopped the floors and like bleach and then cleaned the bathroom. And I just did this like whole cleansing of the apartment yesterday because I was like, I need to get sleep. I need to stop feeling on edge. I need to be able to uh, wash the dishes without feeling that presence watching me. And it was, I never actually thought that I would actually have to do this, but I feel very blessed to have the experience because it made me stronger and realize that God does give me the authority, and God can give you the authority as well, to trample upon serpents and scorpions. And I felt an immediate difference after blessing the house, and I went to every corner and did the bedpost. I did my roommate's room too. I opened up all the windows and I just like did this like cleansing, and I felt the apartment felt so much lighter. I don't feel eyes on me anymore when I'm doing the dishes or in the kitchen. And I didn't know. It kind of shocks me like that happened last night still, because it was legitimately real. But God gave me like the strength to handle it, and it puts fear in you when things are happening to you, but there's no physical explanation, there's no scientific explanation, and it just felt so much lighter afterwards. And then I was experiencing warfare after that with my upstairs neighbors, and it's always dropping stuff and like marbles or something, and like making a bunch of noise and walking around and like constantly, like sometimes it sounds like they're jumping on a trampoline. Like I don't know what their issue is, but I consider that warfare because it was happening during all of that. And like when I was praying and blessing the apartment, I all of a sudden hearing all this noise from upstairs, and that has been an issue for the past year as well, of warfare, experiencing neighbors upstairs, dropping things, like loud things, and walking and making a bunch of noise. And I felt their resistance while I was praying to get the weird negative demonic energies out of this apartment. And I was like, this is warfare. Like I'm going through warfare. And I just kept repeating the prayers that I know best of what I feel like I've, absorbed over the past year, because I didn't used to know how to pray to protect myself and to rid of negative evil entities. That was not part of my repertoire as of yet. And so I feel like I'm literally becoming a more mature, like in the spirit realm and stuff. And like, I have a deeper understanding of like how evil really does exist. And, it feels good to have power over it. And like, I slept well last night, and I woke up and I'm able to just like not be on edge anymore in my own home. And I just can't even like begin to tell you how relieved I am. And so let's see what other scriptures here that we can use to understand spiritual warfare. The weapons we fight, this is 2 Corinthians 10. No, I can't cross my legs. I always want to cross my legs, but it's not good for my injury. So 2 Corinthians 10, 4, 5. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. No. I want to read. Is that the one? No. I think I wrote it over here. Well, we'll just keep going. I suppose it's a different wording than what I'm used to. I'm used to the one that it says like, for we don't fight against flesh, but against the spiritual realm and high principalities and things unseen. But I guess this is a different verse of it. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. I kind of like that other verse. I feel like that's what's going on, because it's fighting against high principalities. and not of the flesh, and we can't always see what we're fighting against. I kind of, yeah, I honestly thought I wrote that down, but let's see here. You fight. For our struggles is not. Oh, it's Ephesians. Okay, I guess that was just another verse. I think I thought I wrote this verse down, but I wrote another verse down instead. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, Ephesians 6, but against rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So I didn't used to know what I didn't understand that most of my life until I've been experiencing more and more warfare as I've gotten older, and just this past year has been an extremely tumultuous season that I've come out on top and victorious. So, and I have so much character now. It's insane. It's cool. I'm blessed. I feel like honored to be here in this timeline to experience this level of war, because it means that we're doing something right as Christians, and we're bringing light into a dark world, and it's just such an honor if you think about it. It may not be easy and it may not always feel good, but it's the right thing to do. It feels noble, and so I just feel honored to equip myself with more and more knowledge from the word that Jesus left us with in these amazing scriptures, like James 4:7. Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. Um, oh, this is the one that I wrote down, Ephesians 6:10-11. So it's just a different interpretation. Finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. And then Luke 10:19. Oh, yeah. We read that one already. That's about having the authority to trample serpents and scorpions. And so I just wanted to also make a video that was like, if anyone's experiencing any warfare in their homes and stuff, it's best to not ignore it, because I ignored it for way too long, and it caused quite a bit of honestly uncomfortability and on edgeness, if that's a word. I just made it up, but yeah, being on edge, it just, you have to confront it. And I just wanted to share that if you notice anything, like, do the prayers right away, and don't be like ignore it, because as soon as I did the prayers and stuff, and did the whole like paper towel and like on the walls and the bedposts, and the blessing, it lifted immediately. The energy was lifted. I don't feel like there's eyes on me anymore. I felt so much better. It just the energy was lighter, and I feel much more at home now. I feel like I can relax. So yeah, I could go into like other couple examples that I had where I was like, that's definitely poltergeist activity. But like sometimes, like, I guess I'll just share like really quickly. Like there was definitely the headband being pulled off my head, like, and I felt it, and then it gave me major goosebumps after that. That was for real. That was real. And then I was in the kitchen, and like the towel just like was on it was on the counter, and there was no way, and it just looked like somebody swiped it, and then it just like fell. But it was like, how did that just like it just, and it was right next to me. And then I noticed that I was like shaking a little bit as I was like pouring water, get the Brita filter, and then I was like, don't let him see, like that just freaked you out. But I noticed as I was putting the cup down, I was shaking, and so I was like, this is scaring me, but I kept ignoring it and just looking like, oh, that didn't just happen. But it got to the point where I was like, you touching my headbands, now we got to deal with this. And so yeah, don't ignore it. Deal with it head on. And it worked out in my favor, because then I ended up doing just like a long prayer to heal my body. And then I did a prayer for breakthrough, and I did a prayer for my spouse and protection. And I got to know the word even like a little bit more. So any attack that comes against you, actually, it will elevate you. And that's the other verse I wanted to share with you before we end this video for today, is that no matter what happens to you, from the enemy. Like, God actually approves any evil in the world before it happens. Like, he's the creator of light, and he's also the creator of darkness. So when Job was being tested, Satan came to Jesus and said, can I take away everything from him? And God said, yeah, but do not kill him. So God gives the approval to see how we will either elevate or how it's a test. And so some little things here and there that are being done against you, know that that's actually a disguised opportunity to grow closer with Jesus. And that took me a long time to figure that one out. But here's this verse that says it way better than I could. 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond which you can bear. And he will always provide a way out of whatever temptation you are presented with. Isn't that amazing? So he hears literally every thought. He literally hears, he knows what pain is in your body and when you feel it. God knows everything. We cannot hide anything from him. He is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. Yeah. We just simply can't hide from him. And so know that any attack actually is a disguised opportunity to elevate higher in the spiritual realm with God and working for the kingdom of lightness and for God's kingdom. It just doesn't feel like that all the time, but I do believe that God allowed for that to happen last night, and I rose to the occasion. I immediately went. I had goosebumps all over my body as I was walking into the kitchen. I heard the audible click of the bathroom, and at the same time, I saw the light turn off. Because when the bathroom light is on, the whole hallway lights up. So it's like bathroom, hallway, kitchen. Walking into the kitchen, I heard the audible click of the light switch, and I noticed the hallway went dark right at that same time. And I was like, oh no! And I went calmly went to the cabinet of the pantry, grabbed the oil, got the paper towel out, and started Googling what's going on. And then I realized that it made so much sense because I didn't understand where some of this anger I was experiencing was coming from. I was being provoked by an evil entity. And I just went hard in that prayer yesterday and blessed the whole house. And I grew in my spirituality and like authority, like that I trust myself. And it was scary at some times to like confront like the evil, because for so long like I just ignored it. I was like, no, that's not really happening. It's not really happening. Like things like one time I was kind of cleaning up and like I put this on the shelf, like my you can't really see it, but like my desk over there, and it was on the shelf, and then all of a sudden it just like fell down onto the desk, and I just ignored it for so long. So I wanted to make a video that was like, hey, like, this is a way that I was tested just literally last night. And spiritual warfare is real, and if anyone experiences it, you can gain the authority that God gives you as a child of God to trample over serpents and snakes, and that any attack that is happening against you I encourage you to see it as a disguised opportunity to elevate with Jesus and grow closer in wisdom and understanding of what we're fighting against, high principalities in the heavenly realms, and the spiritual realm of like what is really occurring. It's an attack that was allowed against you to see if God does test us. God does test us. That is a way that we grow our strength. There's no way that we can just go from A to Z and say we evolved without doing any of the hard work or the painful work or the uncomfortable work. You don't just evolve and grow deeper in your relationship with Jesus. You're tested, and it's a disguised opportunity to grow even closer with Jesus. And the word is your weapon, and prayer is our best weapon as well. And so I feel like I've just learned so much this past little bit of the spiritual journey. And lastly, would like to add that whatever it is that you're tempted with, resist the devil and he will flee, and know that God will always provide a way out of that temptation, whatever it is. So that's the message. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling kind of like a badass. Like, I feel like that, like, excuse my language, whatever, like, BA, man. Like, that was like some next level stuff that happened last night, and I handled it. And it was real. It was real. It was real. It was happening. I was like, I handled it. And it's not good because I'm good. It's good because he's good in me. And I just feel closer with God now too after having gone through that experience, because he like protected me, and I felt the difference of the lightness in the apartment and stuff. So that's the message, y'all. I really appreciate you listening. I'm really excited. I feel like I'm back on my grind, and staying consistent. And I just, yeah, I feel like really, really good things are about to happen. And I couldn't be more blessed to have this platform and have y'all listening and hopefully enjoying, and hopefully found this video encouraging or informative at the very least. You know what comes next. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay chosen. Peace.